And she's obviously thinking, why is Mrs. Patmore in Costco in LA?
In real life, are you a chef?
No. You see the house and you kind of go, whoa, wow. I mean, no, I'm... What? So actors go up the stairs and then stop at a door like this.
Can you give us a little taste of what's going to happen with Mrs. Patmore in season 4?
It's a big goofball. Big complexity.
Oh my God!
The herald of Downton Abbey.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Lesley. I was almost, when I first saw you, thought, Mrs. Patmore. So I'm sure you've gotten that reaction quite often as well.
Actually, the good thing is that because Mrs. Patmore doesn't wear any makeup at all, and I'm lathering it on, sometimes people don't recognise me, so sometimes they don't know it's me.
So that gives you a little bit of incognito, because the show is really, really popular. 24 million fans worldwide.
Is that right?
Yeah, so this is now going on to season 4. You've been with the show since the beginning.
Yes.
What was it like getting on the show? How did you hear about it? And what did you think at the time? Because at the time, no one thought it was going to be as big of a hit.
No, no, not at all. You're probably too young to remember. There was a thing called Brideshead Revisited, which was a period drama when I was a lot younger. And it was very classy and very well cast, and it looked beautiful. And me and my family just loved it, absolutely every minute of it. And so all I hoped was it would be as well respected and as well loved as that was. Yes. It had Jeremy Irons in it and people like that. So nobody knew it was going to do this, absolutely not. And I found out about it because my friend was a producer on it. She was already working on it. Yes. I met her in the park while we walked our dogs. And I was just very pleased for her because she told me she got this great new job. And so that was the conversation. It wasn't about me. It was about, oh, Liz, isn't that wonderful for you? Yeah. Nobody else went up for the part.
Wow.
That's the kind of casting I like.
Yes. What was your impression of the character of Mrs. Patmore, and how has it evolved over the seasons?
Well, that's a good question because they've all evolved. I think that's what's so wonderful about what Julian does. He thought out of his head 18 original characters at the beginning, and he gave us all a good character to start with, but then it becomes a two-way process because he then sees what you do and then develops it from what ideas you've given him. He said to me the other day, originally Mrs. Patmore was not a funny character.
Really? She's so funny.
But because of what I did and because of who I am, I suppose he kind of started writing those great one-liners, you know. Yes. But when I first read it, my reaction was, my first few scenes in season 1 are shouting at Daisy.
Yes.
That's what it is. And you go, you know, an actor's job is to go, all right, you could say she's just a bully. But nobody is just a bully. Yes. You know, we all behave in different ways for different reasons. So the actor's job is to go, okay, why is she doing that? I mean, what's going on? And in this new season, there's a real fear for her of the technology that's coming into the kitchen. And all the kids are thrilled by it, you know, because they're going, wow, you know, something that saves us time and energy, and what could be better? What is lovely is he has developed their relationship. It's not mother and daughter because they're not. Yes. But it's much more than just I'm her boss and she's my, you know, a sous chef, or sous Jeff as she called it.
The end of season 3, it was pretty shocking, right? Matthew passes away. So I think we can talk about that because that's happened and everybody in the entire world knows that. Yes. Was that a shock to you? Like, do you get to see the story arc well in advance, or you're reading through it and it was
I can't remember whether we knew that Dan was going or not. I think maybe we knew he was leaving, and I don't think we knew how. Yes. And then we read the Christmas special, and since then, Julian has said he didn't want to make everybody's Christmas terrible, so he tried to make it a normal, happy story and then kill him right at the end. Because he had to kill him.
And it was like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
He's riding in a car. You don't see it. And then I had a terrible feeling like, okay, this is too pretty. Something's going to happen.
Something's looming.
Yes.
And then he lay there with blood coming out of something, his nose or his mouth, I can't remember which. And there are those optimistic souls in the world who thought he'd bitten his lip or something, hoping he wasn't dead.
Yes.
I think we were all... well, one thing, I don't think we had any idea how upset, and cross quite a lot of people were.
Yes.
And we've now discovered from one thing and another that the audience here in America and in the UK, probably around the world, some are very protective. They feel very attached to this whole family story, upstairs and downstairs too. And they don't want anything bad to happen.
Yes.
And it's no good you saying, but it's a drama, and bad things do happen in dramas and in life. And people get furious. I think they were furious with it. They met a sweet girl in Costco in LA who was a Mexican girl. This is last year. And she was taking my card and she looked at me and she went, "Are you Mrs. Patmore?" And I said, "I am." And she's obviously thinking, why is Mrs. Patmore in Costco in LA? And I'm thinking, why does she know who I am? And then she said, my whole family love your show. We sit together and we watch it. And then you think, you're a family of Mexicans. What do you think this is about? But it doesn't matter, because they obviously get enough, they're hooked into it enough that it's speaking to them somehow. So this happens worldwide,
Does it actually exist, or is it all a set?
No, that's a real live, amazing house. And trust me, if you ever go to England, go and visit it. You can visit it. It's called Highclere Castle, and it's about an hour from London, and it's owned by Lord and Lady Carnarvon. Okay. And you go up this windy, long drive, and you've got hills and sheep, and it's all very beautiful. And then suddenly, even now, and I've been going there not a lot, but quite a lot, over the years, 3-4 years, you see the house and you kind of go, whoa, wow. It's really impressive. It's really dramatic. And Julian calls it like the 19th character, because it is. It's got its own personality and it's stunning. So they use the dining room, they use the hall and the stairs, all of that is as is, and the library. But an hour away in London, in West London, at Ealing Film Studios, they have built a permanent set, which is, as you see it, you have my kitchen, and that goes into the hallway, and there's a staircase, which apparently goes upstairs. So actors go up the stairs and then stop at a door like this, because there's nowhere to go.
Oh, there isn't.
And then the next week you see them coming through the door in the castle.
So you have to make sure you have the right costumes, everything, because otherwise,
So when I'm handing them a dish of something, they take the dish, and people are very careful and take picture, because 3 weeks later, somebody will be coming into the dining room with that very dish.
You started in acting and theater when you were 16.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the transition to television, and what do you think is the difference between the two?
Well, when I went to drama school, I went to Guildhall in London, which is a good drama school. I went there in the 70s. But in those days, they didn't give you any TV training. So I had to learn as I went along, really. And I did a lot of theatre right from the beginning. Every time you're on television, if you go and do a theatrical performance, it'll look wrong.
It'll look too
You have to
overdone,
trust.
right?
You have to trust that the camera will pick up what you're doing, and I'm still learning.
Do you watch Downton Abbey?
Of course. They have everybody, all the crew, all the cast, everybody connected with it is invited to look at an episode or two, and we watch it together on a big screen, and that's just great, because you know what's happened. You've read it months before, but you've forgotten. I do look at myself and go, are those two chins really mine? I'm not very happy about that, and I must do something about that.
That's the wrong angle.
I hate that chin thing.
You've been asked a lot of questions since August by folks such as myself. What's a question you haven't been asked that you've wondered why no one's asked you and you'd love to answer?
I don't know. Why don't you ask me when am I next working with Anthony Hopkins?
Okay, when are you next working with Anthony Hopkins?
I don't know, but I'd love to.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Lesley.
Thank you.
Can you give us a little taste of what's going to happen with Mrs. Patmore in season 4?
No.
No.
Good try.
Well, thank you so much. You tried.
Oh. Oh. Hello.
Hi.